This is a 6 p.m. rush hour on Anzac Parade, Kensington. Time seems to stand still and cars seldom move. It's safe to say we've all been there. State Transit has recently reported that Sydney traffic is worse than New York. With an extra 1 million people expected to live and work in Sydney over the next 10 years, developments are on the rise. As a result, Sydney South is experiencing a development boom. Transport is in dire need for improvement to cope with these changes. The response? A $2.1 billion light rail to service the city to southeast Sydney suburbs. Each light rail vehicle will carry more people than 9 standard buses. It promises to be faster, more reliable and efficient. It will take less than 24 minutes for commuters to reach Central Station from Randwick, removing more than 200 buses from Sydney streets during peak hour. However, it has not been short of controversy. A recent report by Sydney Morning Herald revealed a decline in more than 20% of the state's green open space. Hundreds of trees will be removed to make way for the light rail in Sydney South. Among them, 50 historic trees in Centennial Park. Former Mayor and Greens councillor for Randwick, Murray Matson, says this was not the council's preferred option.
The council has gone to great lengths to work out an agreement with the government. It was a development agreement that we signed that included a lot of provisions that we got into that agreement to protect and to retain as many trees as possible. But the most recent change to the plan, that happened after we negotiated that agreement. So the Allison Road was not our preferred option for this section of the light rail route. We preferred high streets further to the south.
Transport for New South Wales' updated proposal will see the light rail run along the Centennial Park side of Allison Road instead of the Randwick Racecourse side. These are just some of the trees set for removal to make way for the light rail.
I feel a little bit aggrieved that we, the council, were, in a sense, blindsided. And the priority was given to the other stakeholder, the racecourse, after Christmas.
A spokesperson from Transport of New South Wales says on the matter, the revised placement of light rail alongside Centennial Park was selected as it will minimise impacts on bus operations and access at the Royal Randwick Racecourse. However, Councillor Matson believes in the long run, the light rail will have greater environmental outcomes.
The light rail line, the CBD to southeast light rail line, will run on the electricity grid. Now, if it's running on the electricity grid, that gives the state government a lot of options in dealing with climate change issues. We can bring solar, alternative energy in to feed into that grid. If we continue to use buses or perhaps some other coal derivative transport sort, the state government wouldn't have that option.
Jeff Angel, Director of Total Environment Centre, says the project's activities are just another attack on Sydney's green open space.
And this is just another assault on a very important part of the city's ecology. Oh, there's no doubt that light rail is much needed mass transit for the city, extending out from the CBD, but rather than take trees, which are irreplaceable, we can't get another 100-year-old tree next year, we could have taken some more of the traffic lanes.
Stu is the owner of popular bike shop Happy Wheels on Anzac Parade in Kensington. He believes the project will have disastrous consequences for local businesses.
It's gonna put out a lot of businesses out of business. I reckon at least 30 to 40% of businesses between here and Kingswood will go out of business.
Well, how is the development going to impact your business?
Well, essentially, it takes out all the parking on both sides. And without, I can have the nicest shop in the world, but if nobody can come and park and come into it, I'll have no business.
I'm here on Anzac Parade in Kensington, where the light rail will run right through the centre of Anzac Parade. What this will mean is a 24-hour clearway on both sides of the roads. The businesses along this street won't have adequate parking for their customers. Many have decided to shut their doors way before the construction of the light rail has even begun. Sadly, Stu and his store are one of the many businesses closing their doors. Stu feels that the state government and Randwick Council have done little to support business owners during this upheaval.
No, they're doing nothing. They've said point blank that they are not going to give any subsidies, no help to any business while it's being made or otherwise. So, and they didn't really give any answers. They wouldn't give any definite answers on when a timetable was going to come out, when sections were going to be built. They could give you no answers pretty much at all.
Meanwhile, just down the road at UNSW, hundreds of students rely on buses to get home. Here are some of their thoughts on the current transport situation.
And it's like a bit of a pain in the ass, to be honest. So I would love another alternate form of transport. That'd be wonderful.
How long does it take you to get to?
It took me 50 minutes. I might as well be living on the Central Coast somewhere.
Are you often late for bus?
Most of the time. Yep.
Firstly, how long did it take you to get to uni today?
Like hour and a half or something.
What do you think of the current transport in the area?
It's shocking, absolutely shocking.
How long do you think it would take you to get to uni with the light rails and the buses?
Probably like half an hour less to an hour.
9. Sometimes the buses are like super full and they just go straight past you and they don't pick you up.
Whether they'll have express services on the light rail or whether it's just going to be lumping commuters in with all the uni traffic. It'll be interesting how it works. It'll definitely ease up congestion going to Moore Park as well.
Do you think we need a light rail?
Need, maybe not, but I think it'll be a good thing.
One thing's for sure, the City to South East Light Rail is a story of conflict. Despite this, the project's completion is just around the corner, set to be up and running by 2019.